Frank O'Connor from 343 Industries, here to talk to us about the recently announced Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary. Frank, this is a game that's been sort of making its way through the rumor mill for a long time now, but it's finally announced. How does it feel to finally make the game official?
I mean, it feels good. It's actually been in the rumor mill longer than it's been in development, but it's good to get it out there. It's a complicated project, and we knew messaging it was going to be complicated too, but it's great to get it out there in time for the 10th anniversary, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's got to be an interesting project to work on because, you know, Halo CE, it's regarded as sort of a modern classic. How have you guys approached this game to sort of like breathe new life into it while still making sure that it maintains that original sort of magic that made the game special?
Well, I mean, we approached it in two ways. One, the simplest way was just utter respect for the franchise and the inherent magic of the original Halo gameplay, and that hasn't been touched. The gameplay, the physics, and the campaign mode are completely identical to the original game because it's actually running on the original game engine with a second engine, a graphics layer running on top of it. And actually, one of the coolest features about the game is you can press the back button at any time and flip between the classic mode and the new enhanced remastered mode.
We've actually got a trailer for it running right here. Could you describe to us, call out some notable features here?
Yeah, so right now it's showing you a little bit of campaign, and you can see how the graphics have been remastered and how the animations have been redone. We're using newer character models. We switched to multiplayer here. This is Damnation, which has been rebuilt. There's a couple of levels in here that we haven't announced yet, but people with sharp eyes will figure out what they are. And as you can see, it's running in the Reach engine. That's an assassination there. That was the trickiest part. That was the hardest decision we had to make. We know a lot of people love the original gameplay, and we had to decide whether to use Reach or go back to the original. We'll explain more later, but there were a number of reasons we decided to stick with the Reach engine. And we know that's controversial, and we don't take it lightly.
Right, absolutely. Now, the ability to switch between visual modes on the fly, that seems like a really interesting feature. Was that something that was always in the design process?
Not exactly. It started off as a debug tool, so we'd be able to see. I mean, obviously, we wanted to make sure that every single pixel of gameplay was as identical as it could be, give or take silhouettes and shaders and so on. But we originally had it hidden in a menu. And the closer we got to it, the more we realized it was worth enhancing this and making it work faster and more smoothly so that it could be a fan feature. And in some ways, the ultimate celebration of the anniversary, because at any time you can go back and see wistfully the kind of nostalgic feelings that you had about the original graphics engine and switch right back to the sort of 360 generation graphics.
Now, in terms of the level layout and whatnot, is it basically pixel for pixel the same as the original?
Literally, it's going to be, to all intents and purposes, identical. As I said, there will be differences. Like if you're shooting an elite with the new silhouette, very slight differences, and certainly things like vegetation growing over the rims of hills sounds like a small deal. But if you're used to taking a specific sniper shot at a specific point, you may find some slight differences there. We're not so worried about that. What we're really worried about is physics, tricks, warthog jumps, grenade tricks, that kind of thing. They're all identical. And we've used the graphics to make some improvements to the gameplay flow. So levels like the library are exactly the same as they were before, but we've put a few more visual cues and textures and lighting cues to help you navigate your way through the library, because and there's a couple other levels that were challenging back in the day, and we made some slight tweaks to make them a little more approachable.
Now, multiplayer is an area where you guys are doing a little bit more. I understand that you guys are adding the armor abilities to the multiplayer?
So the multiplayer entire runs in the Reach multiplayer engine. Everything launches from